Hello, and welcome to the presentation of Robert Simon case. My name is Hugo Rivera from Group A, and together with Emmy, Guillén, and Sebastián Vega, we are going to talk about a crime committed by a person who was under 18 years old at the time of the crime. I like to start by looking at this picture. Here we can see of people by age range who have been arrested for committing crimes, observing that the crimes of minors were high. In addition, before and during the 90s, the death penalty was allowed for minors. So this is a particular case of the time. Now, the Simon case started in Missouri in 1993. Christopher Simons had get a plot to murder a woman. Simons and his friends broke into a woman's house, took her to a state park, and drove her off bridge. Next, I would like to take a look at those involved in this crime. The murders were Christopher Simons, with 17 years old, along with his friend, 15 years old Charles Benjamin, while John Tesmer was originally part of the plan but chose not to. These Jones men didn't have a criminal record before they committed that crime. On the other hand, the victim, Shirley Crook, a 46 years old woman.
17-year-old Christopher Simons had plans to murder a woman named Shirley Crook. He involves two younger friends, Charles Benjamin, 15 years, and John Tesman, 16 years. They planned to break into Crook's house, steal things, tie up Crook, and follow her off a bridge. Tesmer abandoned the plan at the last minute, but Simons and Benjamin were captured and tried. Simons had admitted to the murder, and Tesmer testified against Simons. He said that Simons had planned the crime in advance. But where was the reason? This is a controversial case where a minor openly sought to murder a person for the simple pleasure of doing so, previously announcing his intentions and further boasting of his feats. The jury recommends the death penalty. However, the Missouri Supreme Court arguing that the execution of minors is a cruel and unusual punishment changed Simon's sentence from death to life in prison. But what about Christopher? Christopher Simons was a typical student until he decides to commit this crime, becoming one of the most relevant faces in this year, 1993 and 2005. The murder case where he was the main head would be the key for the moral and rational analysis of the age limitations compared to the case violence in a state with high levels of crime.
I believe that the sentence was fair, perhaps as unfair as possible, since it must be taken into account that a person who is not finished training or finished school cannot be classified as a person who leave can be taken. He shouldn't have been classified as an adult because he is not capable of making decisions knowing the consequences that life really brings him, which doesn't exempt him from guilt. However, she shouldn't be excluded from the right to life, and I consider that life imprisonment was a less significant decision given the context, and that it gave him the possibility of reforming himself, and although he can reintegrate to society normally, he he can at least know what is to live as an adult, assume responsibilities, and love in its environmental context.
We consider that this person should have been treated like any adult, since he acted as one should take responsibility for his actions and not excuse himself on the premise that not being a certain age is the main of the violent acts he commits. However, the death penalty is seen as an extremist act that should be considered for much more violent acts. And for those that a dangerous mentality. In the case of Simons, the death penalty should have been analyzed based on the psychological results that he shows. But the decision to keep him in prison was the second best option. Thank you very much for your attention.